Hello, lovelies. Christina Wolf here, and I am a spiritual empowerment coach and energetic mindset alchemist for women entrepreneurs. And I wanted to just shut off my phone and my iPad because they went off because I was on my desktop here talking to you guys. So I wanted to talk to you about like this really, I would call it an unpleasant experience that I had. But it's also part of the entrepreneurial journey and getting visible. Okay, so here's one thing I want to say. When you decide that you have an opinion about something or you position yourself as an authority, you're going to have haters, people who come out of the woodwork who are going to oppose you. And that's fine. Your job is not to win them over, like them, whatever. And you can even get angry at them. This is the point I want to make. So let me tell you about this little experience that I had. So, okay, I've been posting in groups, and I actually find Facebook very entertaining because it's so easy to get triggered by other people because of differences of opinion. So I posted in an empath group, I won't even say which one, about my experiences in the entrepreneurial world since quitting my job as a deputy sheriff for a decade-long career as a deputy sheriff. And the post actually had no mention of my law enforcement life and experience, and the rest of the post had to do with basically me and my journey and how I ended up transitioning from that career over to my spiritual empowerment coaching career. And this person comes on there and they're like, made some like really inflammatory statements like, oh, how does it feel to be, a violator of other people's rights? And, just the whole point for them was to basically stir the pot, essentially, and be baiting and inflammatory. And I know police in America right now and being violators of people's rights and that can be a very charged conversation, right? Well, so I realized, I was like, you know what, whenever you have haters, like anytime you have a very visible job or you position yourself as an authority, you're gonna start getting haters, and that's just almost kind of like, yay, you made it, like you have some form of influence and you're triggering other people. And the goal here is to remember that you get to know who you are, and you get to know, don't let other people pull you from your own alignment, regardless of, they can say whatever they want. Like, as far as I'm concerned, this person really wasn't speaking in their truth. They were just, like I said, being, a inflammatory presence. They were one of those people who had like a profile with like a fake name and like a picture of like, I don't know, a crystal or something. And it wasn't like a real person talking to you. Now, if you wanted to have like a real truthful conversation with me about how you feel about police brutality in this world, and it was like respectful, and I wanted, it was like, if that was the energy behind it, I would have totally respected this person. But their energy was to get me to get pissed off, to, and in fact, it was like they took one little blip, me saying, hey, I was a deputy sheriff for 10 years, and didn't even respond to the rest of the whole post, which had nothing to do with that, actually. And, wanted me to basically get triggered and make comments. Now, the point I wanted to really make, though, was even if you're really empowered, you have a right to get angry about people trying to violate your boundaries, because this person was being disrespectful. They were being disrespectful. And it's up to you how much you want to respond. And the important part to remember is whether people like you or love you is irrelevant. If you're going to be in this online world and you're going to be, positioning yourself as an authority in any way, shape, or form, people will find any way to You know, your haters will come out of the woodwork. Why? You don't know. You know, maybe it's just like part of your soul journey and your energetic path. Like, you know, you're here to be able to speak your truth and not care what other people think. And that's the goal. Like, you know, a lion doesn't care about the opinions of sheep, frankly. And, you know, this person was just being, you know, a hater for the sake of, you know, stirring the pot. And I was able to say, hey, you know what? I don't get to own, you know, you don't get to put this pile of crap in my lap, and I don't have to take it. Here you go. Take it back. Have a nice day. But when you are in this online world, or you are in a position of authority, like being a deputy or, you know, police, whatever. Hey guys, even though I'm not a deputy anymore, I'm always deputy in my heart. I love you guys. We do a job no one else can do. And that doesn't mean that we can't have intelligent conversations about people's opinions about our so-called actions and whatever. But you aren't obligated to get into these charged arguments with people that pull you out of alignment. You get to say, you know what, like, this isn't respectful, and I really have no responsibility to explain myself to you. So move on. And sometimes the best thing is to just literally stop responding, because the more you give people a response when they're being a hater for no reason, the more they get to feed off of your energy, because you're being triggered by them. So being able to be neutral and stay in your power, but at the same time say, no, you don't get to be disrespectful to me. I recognize what you're doing, and, you know, basically take a hike. You know, so when you're feeling like, oh my God, I'm getting angry about this, and that doesn't mean you're not empowered. In fact, allowing people to walk all over you when they're being disrespectful to you is not being empowered. But what you choose to allow you to be pulled out of your alignment or not is where the true empowerment comes in. And anytime you have like a really strong stance on something, you're going to invite people to be oppositional to you, but that's okay. Know who you are. Like I said, a lion doesn't care about the opinions of sheep. You know, a bear just is. That's who they are. They embody themselves. You know, this person was going on and on and on about like police being aggressors and violating people's rights. And it's like, you know, the truth is we mirror each other's, I am not who you think I am. You are who you think I am. So we look at like what's triggering this person about me. That's stuff in them. That's none of my business. I don't need to worry about that. And, you know, I kind of look at it like if something you're doing is triggering somebody else, just stay in your own sense of being. Know who you are, know like what you stand for, and don't allow them to pull you out of alignment. That said, you know, if you get yourself embroiled in like these arguments, for lack of a better term, you don't have to. You get to decide at any time, I'm not available for this anymore. And, you know, people will bait you and say, oh, you don't want to have a real conversation about it. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to explain yourself. So, one, know who you are. Anytime you're going to have a stance or an opinion about something, people will always come up with you for opposition. It's going to be part of being visible and being in the online world. And just when you know who you are and you're very centered in self and you have a clear idea of who you are, you aren't easily swayed. You have deep roots like a tree. You're like, I know who I am. I'm not going to allow this person to pull me away from who I am, regardless of their opinions. Everything other people think about you is all about them. It has nothing to do with you. And it's frankly none of your business. It really isn't. All you're required to do is to show up in your truth and speak your truth and not be afraid to worry if people like you, if they don't like you, because the right people will like you for who you are and for speaking your truth. And it's not your job to win other people over. Your job is to just be you. And the right people will come to you, and your haters are just there to just remind you, like, whether it's praise or blame, it's both the same. Like, I'm okay whether you like me or you don't like me. That's the gist of it. That's that sense of self that like you need to go through life in and really feel your own sense of being based on who you know you are. Know what you know, and when you know what you know, don't let anybody else pull you out of alignment. You know, again, that's all I got to say about haters, and it's okay to get angry. Like, I know in this like online world where you're like, oh my God, I should be, you know, nice about everything. No, if somebody's being rude and disrespectful, call them on their shit. That's it. And say your piece and be done with it. And then after you've said your piece, you're done. You don't need to have any explanation. Thank you, Rachel. I like you too. Mwah. Yeah, see, the right people love you no matter what. Whether when you're speaking your truth, they especially, you know, even if they disagree with you, they're going to love you no matter what. And those are the people that you pay attention to, and you allow them to have authority over you, for lack of a better term. But these haters, these idiots online, like, you know, you owe them nothing. You owe them nothing. You know, especially if, you know, this person was accusing me of being aggressive, but that's exactly what they were being. You know, out of nowhere, they come out and they start making these aggressive statements and inflammatory statements. And I was like, it's just evidence, again, that we are mirrors for each other. Like the thing that we see in another person that irritates us is the thing that we're secretly worried about in ourselves. You know, so I think this person had their own issues about authority, and like he even said some comment like, I'm good with my karma and morals because I would never assume a position of authority. And I was like, all right, goodbye, dude. Like, we have nothing to say because you can't even do the job, so whatever. You know, it's those kind of things. Like, it's never about you. It's never about you. And I'm kind of saying this like more, you know, for myself right now, because I started to get like, you know, really embroiled, and like as soon as you start feeling like you have to respond, then it's time for you to step back. No, cut it off. Cut it off. Drama-free zone. You get to decide who is part of your inner world and your little slice of heaven in your head, and that's your well-being, and nobody else gets to pull you out of your well-being. So that's it for now, guys. I love you. Mwah.